Thinking about moving from Texas to Portland, you may hear a lot about moves the other direction, but believe it or not, Texas is near the top of the list of where people are relocating from when they come here to the Pacific Northwest. If you're tired of the humidity and heat but still want big city energy, Portland might surprise you. But don't even consider a move here until you watch this video. Hey there, I'm Ben, a local realtor here in the Portland Metro and Oregon wine country. On this channel, I help people just like you learn everything they need before relocating, whether you're coming from across town or across borders. Today, we're breaking down 15 real differences between life in Texas and the Portland Metro so you can see exactly what the move would look like. Whether you're planning a relocation soon or just researching, feel free to reach out anytime. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Let's jump into the change that surprises a lot of Texas families the most: the weather. Texas gives you hot, humid summers that often feel like a sauna, with temperatures regularly in the mid-90s and high humidity that makes it hard to spend much time outside. Winters are milder than up north, but can still bring occasional freezes and storms. The Portland Metro offers a completely different rhythm with 4 distinct seasons. Winters are wet and gray with temperatures mostly in the 40s and 50s, while summers are pleasantly dry and warm in the 75 to 80 degree range with a few hotter weeks mixed in, but typically without that high humidity you're used to in Texas. You'll trade that heavy humidity and intense heat for regular rain, about 38 to 43 inches per year, which also helps produce that signature Pacific Northwest green landscape that stays lush year-round. Many Texas families I work with say they love finally being able to enjoy being outdoors most of the year without feeling drained by the humidity or worrying about extreme heat advisories. The first winter does take some adjustment with the shorter days and rain, but most people adapt quickly and end up appreciating the variety and the overall cooler climate. Since we were just talking about the weather, let's discuss the clear tie-in topic next: natural disasters. Texas deals with hurricanes, flooding, tornado risks, and extreme heat. If you've lived there for any amount of time, you've likely experienced one or all of these yourself. The Portland metro area has much different risk factors. The area can face wildfire risk, and even without a direct impact of the fires themselves, smoke can impact the area during tougher wildfire seasons. There are also long-term earthquake concerns from the Cascadia zone. But the day-to-day risks feel quite different. Many Texas families say the milder climate here reduces some of the constant weather-related worries that they had back home, even though both places require smart preparedness. It's a trade-off worth understanding as part of the bigger picture. Now let's talk about one of my favorite things: outdoor activities and nature. Texas has its own big outdoor appeal with wide open spaces, lakes, and places like the Hill Country. The Portland Metro brings a very different kind of nature experience that feels closer and more varied on a daily basis. You have places like Forest Park, one of the largest urban forests in the country with over 70 miles of trails right inside city limits. The Columbia River Gorge is just 30 to 45 minutes away with waterfalls, hiking, windsurfing, and scenic drives. The rugged Oregon coast sits about 90 minutes west for weekend beach trips, and Mount Hood is about the same distance to the east for mountain biking or hikes in the summer or skiing and snowboarding in the winter. Not to mention the Willamette and Columbia rivers right in Portland for plenty of water activities. Portland has a huge variety of available activities, super easy access to all of it, and a climate that supports enjoying it much of the year. Many Texas families comment that the greenery and consistent access to real forests, mountains, and coastline feels refreshing after the flatter, hotter landscapes back home. Weekend trips become easier and more spontaneous without having to drive for hours or battle extreme temperatures. It's a nice shift from the Texas style of outdoor living to something that feels more immersed in nature year-round. Housing is one of the bigger adjustments when coming from Texas. In many parts of Dallas and Houston, you can still find larger homes and new construction at more attractive price points. The Portland Metro median sits around $525,000 to $545,000, so sticker prices are often higher. What you get in return is very different. More character homes, mature trees, real yards, and neighborhoods with a distinct Pacific Northwest feel instead of sprawling master plan communities. However, if you do want that master plan community full of amenities, there are several fantastic options for that as well in communities like Collina in Newberg, Reed's Crossing in Hillsboro, or Villebois or Charbonneau in Wilsonville. Many of those moving from the Texas area mentioned that while they gave up some square footage, they gained a home and neighborhood that just felt more suited to everyday living in the Northwest. It's not always cheaper on paper, but the overall value and lifestyle frequently make it worthwhile. Taxes are a big factor to look at when you move, and it's important to look at all components of it. Texas is known for having no state income tax, which is a major advantage on your paycheck. However, property taxes are among the highest in the country in many areas, and sales tax adds up quickly. Oregon has no sales tax at all, which saves significantly on everyday purchases, vehicles, and home upgrades, but it does have higher income tax brackets. I always recommend running detailed comparisons so you can see the net effect based on your income, home value, and spending habits. The math works out differently for everyone, but a lot of Texas movers are relieved at not being taxed on every purchase they make and are pleasantly surprised at how the overall tax picture feels once they settle into Portland. For overall cost of living, looking at the full picture, the Portland Metro tends to run a bit higher overall than many areas in Texas on many cost of living indexes, largely because of housing. However, when you factor in no sales tax, different utility patterns, and the ability to enjoy outdoor activities without constant air conditioning or heating extremes, many Texas families find their monthly expenses feel more manageable than expected. Groceries and restaurants are fairly comparable, but the reduced need for weather-related costs and the walkable nature of many neighborhoods help stretch your dollars further in everyday life. Texas cities like Dallas and Houston are built for cars with massive freeways and long commutes across sprawling metro areas. The Portland Metro is much more compact with a good light rail system, strong bike infrastructure, and many neighborhoods where you can actually walk or bike to shops, parks, and restaurants. Rush hour on I-5 and 205 still happens, but overall, many Texas transplants say they drive less and enjoy their daily routines more after the move. It's a noticeable shift from the very car-dependent lifestyle common in much of Texas. Texas has a powerful economy driven by energy, finance, tech growth in Dallas, and the massive port and energy sector in Houston. The Portland metro economy is smaller and more diversified, with key strengths in athletic apparel with companies like Nike and Columbia Sportswear, semiconductors with companies like Intel and Lam Research, healthcare, and creative industries. Many families coming from Texas appreciate the improved work-life balance they find here. Lower day-to-day costs mean salaries often go further, shorter commute times add to the quality of life, and the pace feels less intense. While Texas offers big opportunities and fast growth, the Portland Metro provides a steadier, more balanced environment that works well for many professionals and families. Politically, Texas has a distinctly more conservative and business-oriented political environment overall, while Oregon leans strongly progressive. The Portland Metro is known for its quirky, creative, and community-focused culture with heavy emphasis on sustainability, local food, and arts. Families from Texas often notice a clear shift in the daily vibe, local priorities, and social atmosphere. Though, like many areas, if you're moving from a big city to the Portland Metro itself, you'll likely see less of a drastic difference than if you're moving from the suburbs. It's one of the bigger cultural adjustments, but many say the transition is smoother than expected because both places value strong communities and outdoor living in their own ways. Texas life has that big, bold energy with incredible barbecue, sports culture, and a car-friendly approach to everything. Family life often revolves around big backyards, community pools, sports, and that classic Southern hospitality feel. The Portland Metro brings a quirkier, creative rhythm with food cart pods everywhere, strong bike culture, and walkable neighborhoods with easy access to parks and natural areas. Families from Texas frequently mention that it feels easier to get outside together and build community connections without the extreme heat limiting options for months at a time. The community calendar with weekend markets, local events, and family-friendly activities helps create a nice rhythm for meeting new people or for raising kids. It's a nice contrast to the fast-growing, car-centric Texas metro experience. Texas has a strong mix of public, charter, and private school options, especially in the Dallas and Houston areas. The Portland Metro features several standout public districts within Oregon, including Lake Oswego as a consistent top performer, and Beaverton with excellent programs and its #1 public high school in the state. Many Texas families find these suburban options competitive and often less crowded, with a good emphasis on academics alongside outdoor and creative learning. Touring schools in the neighborhoods you're considering is the best way to see what the right fit is for your family. Both Texas and Oregon have strong healthcare systems. The Portland Metro offers solid networks including OHSU, Providence, and Legacy with convenient suburban access. Most families from Texas report comparable or even smoother experiences with routine and family care here, particularly with fewer extreme heat-related health issues during the summer. Checking your insurance network is always recommended, but the options here do a good job supporting everyday wellness and family needs. Texas deals with humidity, allergens, and occasional poor air quality tied to heat, ozone, and pollen. The Portland Metro has wildfire smoke some summers, but benefits from frequent rain that keeps the air feeling refreshed and clean most of the year. Many families from Texas notice a positive difference in breathing comfort and fewer seasonal allergy issues once they adjust to the moister Northwest environment. It's one of those quieter improvements that can make a bigger impact than you might think and adds to daily comfort. Gun laws are another area where Texas and Oregon handle things quite differently. Texas has some of the most permissive rules in the country, including constitutional carry options in many situations and a shall issue permitting system with relatively straightforward requirements. Oregon requires a concealed handgun license with mandatory training and has stricter overall regulations, including universal background checks on all sales. Many families coming from Texas notice the procedural shift. It's not a complete overhaul, but the permitting process and day-to-day rules feel more structured here. I always recommend checking with the local county sheriff's office once you arrive for the most current details and any training requirements that apply. It's one of those practical things worth understanding early so there are no surprises after the move. Texas is one of the fastest growing states in the country with massive population and economic expansion, especially in Dallas and Houston. The Portland Metro is growing more steadily and on a smaller scale with a strong focus on managed growth, sustainability, and quality of life. Many Texas families appreciate the less frantic pace of development here and the emphasis on preserving green spaces and neighborhood character. It creates a different kind of long-term stability that appeals to people looking for more balance rather than rapid change. So there you have it, the real differences between Texas and the Portland Metro in 2026, trading humidity and intense heat for milder seasons, gaining easier access to nature, and finding a more balanced daily pace stand out for many families. Housing, taxes, and the overall lifestyle shift play important roles too. If you're considering a move from Texas, reach out anytime. I'd love to help you figure out if the move is right for you and what areas might be the best fit. Drop a comment below and let me know if you're coming from Dallas, Houston, or somewhere else in Texas. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.